Hi guys, it's Jason from Technically Robust Recruitment, and in this exercise, presentation, what we're going to be learning about is IP addresses. So we're going to learn what it is, and not only what it is, but how it is used. So, if you work in the IT industry or work around computers a lot, you've most likely heard the term IP address. So what this is a 32-bit address which identifies a network client, or if you like to call it, it could be your PC. So this address looks like the number that's shown here. So this is the IPv4 address, and underneath is what it looks like in binary. So this is what it looks like in decimal notation, which is described here. So the term that it uses decimal notation, this is what it means. It uses 192.168.1.1. The next point to point out is that it uses 4 octets, which are 8 bits each. So this here is 1 octet, this is another octet, and so on. All of these are 8 bits each, and each one of these little sections represents one of these. So this is what an octet actually is, and it does consist of 32 bits. There's just some quick maths. It's 8, 8, 8, 8, that equals 32. So let's go into it in a bit more detail in the next slide. Okay, so here we've got how the number is actually converted into a decimal number from all of the binary ones. So if we get into it, it might be clear to you already what's going on there. So the 128 and 64 make up 192, and all of these numbers in this case are irrelevant, so they've all got a 0 underneath. And to expand that a bit better, everything with a 1 underneath it means that it is included in the number. So you've got 1 to 8 plus 64. If this was a 0, then you'd just have 1 to 8. If this was a 0 and this was a 1, then you'd have 1 to 8 plus 32, which is 160. So that would be 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. These numbers along the top here, these are static basically, so these numbers here never change. The 1 to 8, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. All of these remain the same all of the time. It's just the numbers on the bottom that change. So if you want to make it 129, you would do 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. That would make it 129. So I hope this makes sense, and I hope this makes you out. I hope this allows you to understand it a little bit better. So let's just move on to the next slide and understand how this is actually used in the networking world. Okay, so the IP address is used for identifying a network client, as we did explain just now. So each device has got its own IP address, and it uses this IP address whenever it wants to communicate with another device on the network. So let's say, for example, PC0 here wants to communicate with PC1. PC0 will send out a message using something called a packet, and this packet includes the source destination, the source and the destination IP address. The source IP address in the packet will be 192.168.1.1 in this instance, as that's what PC0 has assigned to it. And then the destination will be 192.168.1.2, as that's what PC1 has assigned to it. Once the packet has been built and PC0 has actually sent it out to the network will pass the packet along to PC1, as this has the IP address of 192.168.1.2. So I'll go into a little bit more detail on how this traverses across the network in another video, but at least for now you know what the purpose of an IP address actually is. So just to make that a little bit more clearer, so we've got 192.168.1.1 here, that's assigned to PC0. PC0 then wants to send a message out to PC1, which has the IP address 192.168.1.2 assigned to it. So what PC0 does is it builds something called a networking packet. It puts this as the source IP address in that packet, and then for the destination IP address it puts this address. It then sends it out across the network, and all of the network devices can read that packet and make sure it gets to this PC here. So as I just said, I'll be going into a bit more detail in another video on how exactly that happens. There's a few networking devices you need to be aware of, like a hub and a switch and a router and stuff like that. So depending on the network setup, it can get to it in various ways, but for now all you need to know is that is the purpose of an IP address, just to identify what device it is on the network. Okay, so I will leave that there for now, and let's move on to the next video. Thank you very much.